over 50 and you've maybe heard someone say, oh, wear less makeup. And you're like, how am I going to do that and accomplish what I want? I'm going to show you here how you can wear less makeup, be strategic with it, create lift and create dimension without adding texture to the added texture that you already have on your face. So texture is fine lines, not so fine lines, pores, wrinkles, and acne scarring. That is texture. Those are the areas that are making you look at your face and get frustrated with makeup, because that's where the makeup maybe will settle. It'll settle in your lines, or the color you're putting on is just the wrong color and it's accenting what you don't want to accent, and that is those areas. So I'm going to show you, I have my one side done here. I just was live on Facebook, and I'm going to do this side with you. And we're going to start all the way to the eyebrows, lashes, everything with hooded eyes, and then strategic with our makeup on the other side of your face, the other side of my face. My name is Sonia, and I've been a cosmetologist since I've been 19 years old. You do the math. I don't even know how long that is. I'm 55 years old. I love all things beauty. So I've really, when I found this makeup, because I was getting to a place I was wearing no makeup, almost none. A little bit of eyeliner in the wrong areas, some mascara. I tried to fill in my brows, and I was trying to do all kinds of things with makeup on my face, and it honestly just accented everything that I didn't want to accent. And I didn't know how to adjust. You know, I've done powders, CC creams, liquids, thicker liquids, anti-aging, all the things. So here I am. So when I found this makeup is a cream. It's a customizable palette. Okay, here. Looks very different than anything you've ever done before. And cream makeup for my face has been revolutionary. It has changed everything about what I do. And one of the things with this is, though, I got matched to my color, which is what I do now. I can match you to your foundation shade, and we often will end up first darker than what we think and then end up with two, because we aren't all one color. You put too light a color on your face and it's going to add texture, and that's one of the things. There's some tips and tricks that we need to follow. So first and foremost, I am going to start with the eyes. We are going to use a little bit of eye primer. I put a little bit on, then I was like, shoot, for my other video, I didn't want any on. So use eye primer. This one has some color correcting. It does to my eyelids. My eyelids are red and veiny. So this is Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion, the color Eden. I get it off Amazon. I don't know if it's cheaper elsewhere, but first and foremost, you need eye primer. And then we're going to do the brows. So create lift with the brows. I use two different colored pencils. I use one to line and I use one to fill in. You don't have to do that, but we're going to pay attention to our brows. We're not going to ignore them, and we're going to do the best we can. Here's the dealio. I'm right with you. I didn't know, and I mean, maybe even now I feel like I could still improve on my brows. I would always try those pencils and it just filled it all in, and I don't like that. I like it to look as hair-like strokes as possible, but you can see by doing my brow how it encompasses this eye and how it creates some lift and dimension just on this side of my face. I mean, look at the difference filling in a brow can truly, truly do. So I use the NYX Lift and Snatch brow pens. You can find them in my Amazon. If you go to my profile, you can find them in my Amazon storefront. I don't know if you can find them at Walmart or whatever, but this is ash brown and this is soft brown. And I line with the ash brown and do a few hair-like strokes. So on the brows, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here. This is my better brow. This is my worst brow. I think we all have them. Let's just do the best that we can. The first thing you want to do is take the brow pen. This is a pen, so it's like more of a liquid than it is a pencil. It's a little bit forgiving, but then if you do that and let it set, it will kind of not wipe off very easily. So we're going to go straight up from the tear duct, and that's where we want the brow to start. And we're going to accent our arch. If you haven't touched your brows, you haven't looked at them lately, this will be the only time I tell you to get out a magnifying mirror and look and get them cleaned up and create an arch. If your brows are straight across, then we're going to put an arch in here a little bit. Okay, so let's go the inner part of the eye here, and we're going to go straight up. Okay, that is where we want to start. I'm going to say this 100 times with the brows. Do the best you can. Don't beat yourself up. Do the best that you can. because when you don't have a lot of brow, it's super, super hard. There's also a brow trio, brow stamp. If you have no brows, I get it. When you're 50 and up, they fall out. And we got to do what we can do. So there's a brow stamp out there too. But I like hair-like strokes. So I'm going to start here. And then again, that's straight up from the tear duct. And then I'm going to start lining like that. See how it's just filling it in? But we're doing hair-like strokes. I didn't draw it like that. I lift it up. See how I just keep lifting? And then I'm going to extend the tail of the brow out just a fuzz. This one's shorter than this one. I like to make them even. Plus, I like them to go out, not down. So look at the difference already. See? And then you see how I created an arch right there? And I'm going to make sure I accent the arch right there. And I'm going to come down. And then I'm simply going to fill in the hairs right there. And then I'm going to take just a little bit. And then I'm going to be done with the ash brown. Now look at the difference. See what I'm saying? And then I'm going to take the soft brown and I'm just going to fill it in. Just shake it up a little bit. Then I'm going to just fill it in. Okay? Over 50, menopausal brows are really annoying and frustrating. We lose our brows, we lose our lashes, we lose our hair, and it all goes onto our chin. And I get it. It's not funny, but get your brows on so you can get that eye creating lift. You have to do your brows. So let me find I can never find my spoolie. Someone should come on here and truly get my life together. This is not the one I want. I like to let it dry a little bit and then just spoolie it up just a little bit to make sure I didn't get too much. And then that one's done. And that one actually looks better than the other one. So let's fix this one. Okay. There. You're never gonna, at least in my world, mine never match. They're just kind of, they kind of look alike and I just let it be. So if you're here, say hi, Merry Christmas. I'm so glad that you're here. If you are over 50, can you give me your age? Even if you're in your 40s, I don't care. Give me your age, what you're here, and I would love to hear from you. That is so helpful for me. If you have any questions, I'll do my very best to answer them. Okay, this is a color changing tile. It fits in my compact. It doesn't fit right now though, so I'm gonna take it and take my eyeshadow brush like that, and I'm just gonna clean it off, and then I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do next. So, one concept. Hi, oh, she's 50, 76, 57. I love this. I'm 55. I was just 55 in October. We're going to take a light color. There's parts of our eye that I'm going to talk about. Mobile lid and in the hood and in our crease. So this is the mobile lid. This is the mobile lid that blinks over the eyeball. And then this is the hood. See, we want to lift that up. Okay, we can't see our brow bone because we have so much skin hanging over, some of us. And then this is my natural crease. And this is the crease where I'm going to create it. Hi. Oh, yay. We have a bunch of 50-year-olds here. What's up? Hello. But don't run away, 76-year-old. I don't want you to do that. You stay with me. So in my palette, I kind of arranged this for you guys. I have kind of my light colors, my medium colors, and then my darker colors. Ignore this one. Okay. So we're going to open up that mobile lid with a lighter color in here. And then we're going to do the crease with one of these medium to dark colors. Yay! Well, good for you. So she looks in her 50s. That's nice. I don't think I get that. I mean, I don't usually get people guessing, but I actually just don't let them guess. So we're going to pick out of here. This is like your lighter ones. I'm actually going to go to here. This is chai. If you don't like that little bit warmer color, these are mattes, go to pup. Okay, I'm going to take the fluffy end. These are double-ended brushes. These are so good. I'm going to put it on there, and I'm just going to add it to my mobile lid, like so. Can use any light shade here that you want. If you're a shimmer girl, and I'm going to add shimmer at the end. You can start with shimmer if you want. Totally up to you. So that is the mobile lid. The mobile lid you don't want too dark, in my opinion. I'm not doing a smoky eye. I want it lighter to open it up. And then next, see how this one really hangs over? Okay, so we're going to take a medium matte shade. It doesn't have to be matte. I'm going to use a matte shade, and I'm going to use the color Bird. It's a khaki brown. And I'm going to take my fluffy end of the brush and I'm going to tap it like so. And I am going to look at myself and it needs to go here so I can see it. Okay. So I'm going to tilt my head up and I'm going to go above my natural crease. And this is how you create lift on a hooded eye. But even if you don't have hooded eyes and you have, you know, just a normal eye and that hood doesn't hang over, this is what you're going to do. Even if you don't, if this doesn't go above your natural crease, it's going in your crease. If you have a deep set eye, take that dark color and put it above that deep set part. So it'll kind of recede it back. All right. So that's all we're doing is receding back. Again, very gently. See, I'm holding way back on my eyeshadow brush. And that's what we're going to do. And then there's a zone that you don't want the eyeshadow to go into. And I can paint it on for you. I'm going to take a bright color here. And from this corner of my eye to the tail of my brow, you can't go any lower than that with that dark color. And the reason being, you don't want to pull the eye down. And that's huge because I see people accidentally doing that all the time. And you went to all this work to create dimension on your eye and you just drug it down by going too low. So let's take that bird color and we're going to go out a little bit and we're going to stop at that line. You can also use a paper. If I could find my paper, you can use a paper. You can use a makeup spatula, anything that you want to stop that color right there. Okay, so there we go. And look, I mean, look at the eye already. It's already creating a great amount of dimension. I'm going to take a little bit of this spell color, just think darker. We have light and then we have medium to dark. And now I'm going to go to dark and I'm going to put very, very little. I'm just going to tap it like that. So it's kind of like a real warm brown. I'm going to put this paper back on and then I'm going to just slightly bring it there, a little bit into my crease. Isn't that amazing on the amount of dimension and lift that it gives you by doing that? So good. Now there, see how I've created like this brow bone that I didn't have? And we've just created lift and dimension on a hooded eye. So it takes a little bit of practice sometimes, but we're going to take a little bit of this lighter cupcake color. It's a matte, put underneath the brow just to define it a little bit. Make sure that we didn't get our stuff too high. And then you can see on this eye, see how I have a little bit of a shimmer? But you see how on this one I don't? It's okay if you don't. It's the holidays and I thought, what the heck? Why not? And I'm going to take the color Riviera. Like that. It's not a chunky shimmer. I like finely milled shimmers like that. Put it on my finger. I'm going to pull my eye over and I'm going to keep it. Remember that mobile lid that's right below that crease, my natural crease? That's the only place I'm putting it. I'm going to start in the center of my eye. And the reason I pull it over is just because it's easier for me for placement. You can use your pinky too. And now I'm going to just do that. And if I get it too high, it's okay. I can fix it. Go like that and do a little bit more. All right, there we go. So light brings forward, dark recedes back. This lighter shimmer is just simply going to add a little bit more light to the eye to magnify it. Okay, are we even with the other eye? Probably not. Let's put a little bit more of the shimmer. I'm going to use my pinky though. Okay, there we go. Now I'm just going to take what's left on the brush and I'm simply going to do it right in and above my crease to make sure I didn't get my shimmer too high. We're done. I'm going to flip the brush over and I'm going to put a little bit of that bird right here. This is the time you apply mascara. Don't skip mascara. I do false lashes because I literally have hardly any lashes. They kind of got really super thin. And then I started doing these do-it-yourself lashes and here we are. I would love to be able to wear just mascara, but it doesn't matter. Create some lift with some lashes. All right, now we're going to move on to creating lifted dimension on your face with this cream makeup. Okay, so another thing that I want to talk to you about is before I do my makeup is I didn't do skincare until my 50s. Honest to Pete, I even put hand lotion on my face in my 40s. I paid for it. It is what it is. We laid out in the sun a lot. We created a lot of sun damage and we're aging. And so that's the way things are. But I have found a skincare that has hydrated my menopausal skin. I have skin barrier issues. We're getting a handle on all the things. And I have a pretty glow, a radiance to my skin that I never did. So that is hugely important to me. And this Korean skincare, it's Rimmon. Korean skincare really believes in skin before makeup. So regardless of what you're going to do for makeup, take care of your skin. You can spend maybe a little bit more on skincare and you'll use less makeup. These tins here, guys, they last me forever because I don't need much makeup. This here will probably last me 6 months. My brightener will last me a year or more. These are only $16 a piece. So, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so let's first and foremost, I'm going to bronze. I like bronzing underneath my makeup. It helps me to use less foundation, and I'm going to just create some dimension by adding some bronzer. So I'm going to go behind my redness here with the bronzer, and I'm going to add a little bit of dimension on my forehead, like so. And then I have like white area on my chin. So that's what I do there. And then I'll just kind of tap it like this. And that's where I add the bronzer. I love putting bronzer on my makeup or on my face before makeup. Yesterday I forgot. I was getting ready for church and I was putting on my makeup and I'm like schnipperdiddles, but it's fine. You can just put it on after. It's fine, but I do find that I really like putting it on underneath. And I'll even put it on after my foundation because I don't use a lot. Now, when I color match you, I will typically color match you to two shades. Here's my darker shade and my main shade. This shade is going to go in my darker areas. It's going to be my color corrector for the inner part of my eye, and it's going to go on my redness, and it's going to go on my acne scarring. I already have my chin done because it's too hard to split your chin in half. So I'm going to take this brush, and I'm going to tap on very little makeup. Watch this pink right here. It's just kind of pink. Look like skin, but not be pink by adding a darker shade. If you put a light shade on that, it's just going to create texture. I have big pores, so dark on dark. That's what you need to know. Dark on dark. 2 shades on your face is probably going to be your best bet. So look at that. It's just really amazing. It's just amazing. Okay, so then I already did my nose. I have a little bit of redness right there. So let's take that darker shade and just put a little bit around the nose, and there we go. So that's all I do, the darker shade, except for my eyes. Now, if you look, hang on, if you look like so, okay, I've gotten my cheek area done. I've got some bronzer on. This, I have a full face of makeup on, okay? I even have some foundation down here, but I want you to look over here. See how it still looks like me, but better. Like we're just creating this really nice, pretty makeup look that looks like skin. We're just going to create lift and dimension, and it's just going to be, it's completely different than anything I ever did before, honestly. All right, flip my brush over, and I'm going to put then the rest of that next shade. So my darker went on my darker, and then my next shade is going to go on the rest of my face. Here, middle of here, above the brow. And I already did my nose, okay? That's it for that. All right, so under eyes. Remember we talked about under eyes and using a darker on there. If you have dark under eyes, one thing that I want you to do to help you from getting texture, we're doing lift, dimension, and we're not going to create any more texture on our faces. The texture is what's bothering us, and the drooping is what's bothering us. So that's the things that we're going to hit. We've got a little bit of coverage over here. We're good to go, but we have a dark under eye, and then we have white typically next to it. That white color is usually making the dark under eye actually look darker. So we're going to color correct first. We're going to take a small brush always. That's not the brush I want. This is a spot brush. I'm going to flip it over to this fluffy end, and I'm going to take a little bit of that darker concealer, and I'm going to put it on the blue and the purple. I don't have overly dark under eyes, and I should stop saying that because tomorrow I will wake up with them. We're going to use the most minimal amount as possible. If you need a different color corrector, a lot of times that dark brown muddy is actually blue. A peachy color will take care of it. Okay, and then I will maybe bring just a little bit over and see what that does to fill in that white. I want to darken the light. So I'm going to take a little bit of suede lip liner and a little bit of bronzer, and I'm going to put it in this white area. Now you can see it darkening because we want to disguise the dark under eye. Okay, then that's all blended in. So we just eliminated dark under eye and we just created less makeup on the under eye by using a color correcting shade, and then we darkened. And that right there is going to help you not to have texture, because where's all our texture when? And then when we first start getting wrinkles, where is it? All in our under eyes. So that's a really hairy area. That's an area you want the least amount of makeup as possible, and that's one way to do that. So then we're going to put blush, and then we're going to create a little bit of lift with the blush. I like applying it with my fingers. This is a cream. It's a sandstone right there. It's one of my favorites. Put it on my finger, and I'm going to start in the back, and I'm going to create lift like this, because I can't start in the front because I don't have much of an apple to my cheek. So it's just better if I do this. And I would recommend most of us start in the back. And then I like to do this with my fingers because I can feel where it's going, and the warmth of my finger helps. But you can use a brush. Don't think that this is a must with our makeup. It is not at all. It's just with me, I am bad at applying blush and I don't know why. So if I use that, I'm better. Okay, so here I'm going to mix a little bit of Frenchie in with it. All right, so see how I've just created lift like so? I haven't done any contouring at all. Okay, so I love the blush. We're good. I'm just going to take this brush and I'm just going to make sure I go up like that. That's that lift. We want lift. I'm going to bring a little bit forward to the apple that I don't really have. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of this main shade and smooth the edges a little bit. Okay, so next we're going to brighten, and this is going to be an area of creating light. Light brings forward, remember the eyes, light brings forward, dark recedes back. This is where we're going to do these little areas of bright light, and then we will help create very subtle areas of lift, but with very little makeup. So this is a brightening shade. Brightening shade is like that highlight that you use, not on your under eyes ever. So we're going to take it and we're going to put it here, above that arch of the brow that I told you had to get. You have to get an arch to your brow. And then this one, if you have really deep crow's feet, use a darker shade than what I'm using. But you can create lift like so, like that. Then for some of us, we can put a little bit of brightener right here. I got a lot going on this side of my face, but on this side I don't have as much. I think it's because I sleep on my right side all the time. You can put a little bit of brightener right there, and then under your contour or your blush, a little bit here into your jowl sinking in area. Okay, so that is, hey, well, shoot, I know, I wish I could alert everyone when I go live. I don't know how to do that. And then I already have it down the center of my nose and a little bit between my brows. So go like this. I think if you go into my profile, you can turn on notifications for me. Anyone can do that. And then every time like I go to my story or anything like that, I have that for some people, it'll notify me. Okay, so we created lift. We create a little bit of light lift right here. And then I created some right here. And then I did here underneath my contour. And then here. And then I'm going to take my finger and just blend that in really good. Because we don't want a white line. We want subtle. Okay, right there. And then I'm going to flip this up, brush over on the fluffy. Take a little bit of the light, a little bit of my main shade, and I'm going to carve out a cheekbone. Like so. Just a little bit lighter, and then I'm just going to blend. And that is your areas of light. That's going to create some lift. It's just you're playing with light a little bit. You can also put a little bit on your Cupid's bow. I already have some, but you can put some on your Cupid's bow. That'll help create maybe a little bit of fullness to the lips. And you can put a little bit here in the shadow on the jowl. Again, least amount possible. I have a lot of acne scarring down here. You see it? Acne scarring. So I have to be really careful in the amount of makeup that I put down there. That's why I put a darker shade so it doesn't pop the wrinkles and all that. Honestly, guys, I'm done. That is a great way for you to get lift and dimension with the most minimal amount of makeup possible. With your under eyes, creating lift with those little areas of light. Like, look at my eyes. You know what I mean? Like when I came on here, the huge difference. It's just subtle, but amazing. I love it. I love it. All right. And then powder. If you're a powder girl or you're an oily girl or you have an event and you want something, I broke my other powder, but this is a vanilla dust. We also have a feather blotting powder. If you want to use powder as a mature lady, you can, but you need to be strategic. I like using a dense brush and I like pressing it in like so. And I just use very little. I mean, very little. You'll know when you get too much on because you'll see your texture on your face. Like so. Like that. Okay? You can do that. And then you can be done. You've got that. I don't use a primer. My primer, I never even used a primer before. I just don't feel like you have to. The only thing I've ever used is a setting spray as a primer. I've tried other primers and it didn't do anything. I didn't feel like you need it with this makeup, but just get your skin under control and you're not going to have to. But I do like using Saint's, Plush Prep Mist after I powder. I love the smell. It's not overwhelming. It's not something I smell all day long. It's not something that I think will bother you unless you're ultra sensitive to smells. I spray a little bit of that on my face and I love the look. I love the radiance that I have from my skincare. I love that I use less makeup, and that Plush spray, I feel like sets that powder in and it just gives me a dewy, radiant look like skin. It looks like me, just better. So that's what I want. I mean, that's my goal. My goal is to create as much lift and dimension and not add to my texture every single time I do my makeup. So if you need help or you need anything, you can comment on here. You can reach out to me. You can tell me if you want to match. You can say match me on this video, anything, whatever. But have a Merry Christmas and thanks for being here. Bye, guys.